The first thing I remember is not his face. It's the silence around him. In a neighborhood where gates creak, children shout, and generators argue with the night, there was a quiet that followed Mr. Keto. Not emptiness. Not peace. Something like a room after someone has just been left. He lived 3 houses from mine. Middle-class street. Clean pavements. Flower pots that tried too hard to look alive. I don't remember a moving truck. I don't remember an empty house before him. One day, his lights were on. The next, people were greeting him by name. I started watching from my window. Mr. Keto dressed like a man who never rushed through life. Pressed shirts. Polished shoes. Eyes that stayed on you long enough to make you feel heard. In the evenings, people gathered near the gate and talked about school fees, hospital bills, rising prices, and jobs that didn't love them back. Mr. Keto didn't interrupt. He didn't advise. He didn't promise. He listened. A woman told him her shop was dying. A father whispered that his son might not survive the week. A security guard joked about crashing his bike so he wouldn't have to pay his loans. Mr. Keto nodded. Sometimes he closed his eyes, like he was counting something no one else could see. By morning, things changed. The shop filled with customers. The boy came home from the hospital smiling. The bank called the guard and said his debt was resolved. People started bringing Mr. Keto food. Cold drinks. Small gifts wrapped in gratitude. They called him a blessing. I noticed something else. The woman forgot her son's name for a second. Just a second. The guard started sitting down to rest and forgetting how long he'd been there. The father walked slower, like the ground had grown heavier under his feet. Mr. Keto did not change. One evening, I felt him looking at me before I saw him. I was standing near my gate, pretending to scroll through my phone. He crossed the street and sat in the plastic chair beside me without asking. "You watch people," he said. I didn't deny it. After that, we sat together most nights. Generators humming. Mosquitoes singing. The city breathing in the distance. He told me stories about cities that no longer had their old names. About streets buried under newer roads. About people who used to be loud. I asked him how old he was. He smiled and said, "Older than I look. Younger than I should be." That night, I dreamed of doors with my name written on all of them. Once I saw it, I couldn't stop seeing it. Anyone who sat with Mr. Keto began to fade in small ways. Not enough to scare them. Enough to unsettle me. They forgot birthdays. Lost keys. Called people by the wrong names. One evening, I watched him walk past a group. His shadow touched the wall before he did. I followed him another night. His house smelled like dust and rain even though the sky was clear. The walls were covered in photographs. Old ones. New ones. Every kind of camera. In every picture, Mr. Keto stood at the edge of the frame. The people beside him looked thinner. Their faces blurred, like the world had started letting go of them. I raised my phone. The screen went black. The power failed on a Tuesday. Then the generators. Then the street lights. Neighbors gathered outside, wrapped in jackets and curiosity. The city's glow faded into a distant orange line. Rain started slowly. Soft. Careful. Lightning split the sky. Mr. Keto stood in the middle of the courtyard. The rain passed him in a way that felt wrong. Like it didn't always touch him. Someone laughed and asked how he stayed so young. Mr. Keto looked at the ground and said, "Time is loud when it leaves. Most people just don't hear it." I felt something cold move past my shoulder. I found him behind his house, standing near the water tank. The rain had stopped. The air hadn't. I asked him what he was. He didn't pretend not to understand. He said people don't lose their lives all at once. They drop pieces of themselves when they speak their desires out loud. When they beg for change. When they wish for escape. He said he only gathers what they leave behind. He opened his hand. Something moved inside his palm. Not light. Not shadow. Something that felt like counting without numbers. I couldn't look for long. Scene 8, the offer. He said every name he carried belonged to someone who no longer remembered who they were. I told him I would tell my parents. The words felt small as they left my mouth. He smiled, not amused. Not afraid. He said if I gave him one more name, he would give me everything I feared losing. Health. Time. Safety. A future that wouldn't end too soon. The rain started again, sharp and sudden. Lightning split the sky. My phone vibrated in my pocket. He leaned closer and said, "Just one name will give you everything you fear losing." I pulled out my phone. It was my mother.